During the time of the Buddha, there lived a widow in the city of Shravast. Her only son had suddenly passed away, and he was the one person she depended on in life. The depth of her grief overwhelmed her, leaving her almost unable to think clearly. One day, as she passed near Jetavana Monastery, she heard people speaking of the Buddha. They said he was a great awakened teacher who could bring peace to troubled hearts and guide people out of suffering. Hearing this, the widow felt a flicker of hope and carried her child to see the Buddha. Kneeling before him with tears streaming down her face, she pleaded, "Buddha, my only child is gone. For him, I would give up my own life. Please tell me, how can I bring him back?" The Buddha looked at her gently and did not answer right away. He spoke softly, "Go into the city and find a household where no one has ever died. Bring me a handful of auspicious fire from that home." The widow immediately went into the city, knocking on door after door. At every house she asked, "Has anyone in your home ever died? If not, may I have some fire from your hearth?" Yet everywhere she went, the answers were the same. Who has never experienced death? Our ancestors, parents, and relatives have all passed on. Every family meets this reality. After searching the entire city and finding no such household, she grew exhausted and discouraged. She returned to the Buddha, holding her child in her arms, and whispered, "Buddha, I couldn't find a single home untouched by death." The Buddha then slowly explained, "There are 4 things in this world that cannot be held onto forever. All things are impermanent and will change. Wealth and prosperity will eventually fade. Gatherings must one day part, and even the strongest and healthiest will face death. Since death comes to every living being, why cling so tightly to what cannot remain?" But the widow still could not let go. "My love for my child is carved into my very bones," she said. Seeing that she had not yet truly awakened, the Buddha manifested a vision around her. Suddenly, 4 great pits of fire appeared on all sides, and the flames pressed closer. Startled and frightened, the widow instinctively lifted her child's body to shield herself. The Buddha spoke gently. "You said you would give your life for him, yet when danger came, the first you protected was yourself. The small fires of this world are already unbearable. How much more unbearable are the flames of suffering created by ignorance and attachment? Only through acts of generosity, virtue, patience, and compassion can one be free from future suffering and find true peace." Hearing these words, the widow's heart slowly softened and grew quiet. She began to understand that even the deepest love cannot hold on to what is not meant to stay. Pain does not come from death itself, but from the inability to let go. She saw clearly the truth of impermanence and how clinging only makes suffering tighter. In that moment of clarity before the Buddha, her grief dissolved into understanding and confusion transformed into wisdom. She attained the first stage of awakening, feeling a peace she had never known before. This story reminds us that love is not taken away by death. What truly binds us to suffering is attachment. When we learn to let go, the mind becomes as calm and clear as a still lake, returning to its natural peace.